everybody. Hey. Say hi, Pastor Dayna. Hey, everybody.
Hey, hey,
Hey. We are
hey.
here. We are here. We are here. We are live. And we are going into this live conversation. Hey.
Hey, y'all.
Hey. How you
Hey,
been? Girl,
y'all.
it's been a long time. What is going
Hey,
on?
y'all.
This has
I
been
know, right?
It has been a long time. What you been up to? How you been? What your people's doing? What they up to?
What's going on?
What's going on with you? It's been so long, and you're not here, but it's okay. We understand. We understand.
Oh,
We got
no.
stuff going on. I know. I know. Things.
I don't know
Listen,
why my thing is acting retarded. I can't
mine
see
too.
nothing.
Life has been lifing, and we have been just stuff has been going on,
Life has been
and
life.
life has been lifing like nobody's business. And so
Yes,
I'm just excited and I'm just glad that we are able to come together and be together
that part.
however we can because
That part.
oh, it's been
Thank
so
God for
much.
social media.
Y- you know, thank God for social media. Thank God for
Thank
just
God for social.
the the all the ways that we can come together and just be together in what we do. Um, you know, being able to see each other and not being able to, to be in each other's space. But I love you, I
Yeah,
love you, I love you. And I'm so glad that we
absolutely.
are able to still do what we do and
Yes.
come and be live.
And be live.
You know what? You see who done popped one in? You see who popped
I
one in, right?
see.
You see,
I see
okay.
you.
Yeah.
I,
Hey, Pastor
I,
Fonte. he
Pompey.
he gon' jump in. He
He,
gon' jump in. Yes.
listen, he don't miss nothing.
Not a
You
thing.
understand?
Not a thing ever. Not ever a
He
thing.
don't miss
No.
nothing.
Hey, Aunt Darlene. Hey. Listen. So, all
Hey,
right.
Dad.
Hey. Oh, he on
Yes,
too?
ma'am.
Hey.
Bishop's on
Well, he always gonna join whatever you do.
there.
He gonna join in. If you on, he gonna join whatever you do. So hey,
He
listen,
gonna join whatever you do because you his sister. He be like, that's my sister. Y'all don't know?
he do
Y'all don't
kids
know
first.
about Pastor Tyra?
He do kids first. He do kids.
Nah.
But it's all right.
Pompey can
Any,
talk about something. He about to join me. Did I miss the invitation to the live? Whatever. He's crazy.
he is crazy. He is crazy. But you know
He
what?
is
The
crazy.
funny thing is, he would be really good for this conversation. So I'm going to look forward to him joining in on this conversation because navigating the Bishop Davis too, my aunt too, everybody. I need y'all to join
Yeah,
in on this conversation because navigating the gentleness of the generation is it's a whole thing. It's it's a whole thing that we are all dealing with in this day and in this time. And we are seeing so much violence
mm,
that is happening. And school is now out in most locations. I know here in
girl.
Philadelphia and Pennsylvania, school is now out. And we're going to see a whole lot of stuff happening. Um,
Hmm.
and I know here in Philadelphia, they have opened up some um, some locations where they have
Hmm.
it where the children can come and they can just come play games. It's like a safe space, safe place for them to come and be.
Really?
Yeah. So the city
Wow.
had this initiative. Um, I'm still working on my location. But the city had this initiative to open up these different centers for and Pastor Pompey, his center is somewhat like this, to open
Okay.
up these different centers where the young people can come and they have a safe place to come get meals, to come do arts and crafts, to come play games, just a place that they can Yes, the C. Say,
See,
I need you to say what it is. CERC centers. Yes. I need you to say what that is. CERC. It's like what does it stand for? But yes, and they're all over this. There, it's like six or seven, Pastor Pompey. See how we need him in this conversation
yes,
around around the city. Um, not
Calvary
yours.
CDC is one. He said,
Not yours. We know about Calvary CDC, but there are like six or seven around the city, where they opened them up. They were talking about them last week on the news, just so the young people can know. Hey, Patterson, just so the young people can know that they have a safe place that they can go to. They don't have to just stay in the house and be on their video games. They don't just have to be in these streets, but they have a place that they can go to. Patterson said, showing empathy for youth, especially in the therapeutic, educational, and caregiving settings, means more than being nice. It does mean more than being nice. It absolutely
yeah,
does mean more
and
than that. It's about actively turning into their emotional experience, meeting them where they are, and helping them feel seen, heard, and valued. Yes. And this is, yes, absolutely. But Patterson, I get what you're saying, and we're going off, and this is how our conversations go, Pastor Dana. So you're gonna flow. Um, yes,
yeah,
it does mean that, but this gentleness that we're doing. My question is, are we doing our generations, our next generation, our current generations, a disservice in how we are raising and rearing with this gentle conversation and not yeah, and this gentle parenting, gentle conversation. Pastor Dana, you are parenting. You're a parent, and you under well. Let me not assume. Do you know what the whole gentle parenting thing is? Because maybe I have a misconception of it. What does it really mean to gentle parent?
So two things. So um Pastor Pompey said that the Calvary CDC is one as of 7/1/25. As of
So it's
seven
coming
one
up.
twenty five. Yeah, and the
He's being added.
CERC is Community Evening Resource Centers.
That's what it is.
Wow.
Yes, yes.
Okay. All
Mm-hmm.
right.
And it's like
So
six or seven of them around the city. Like we can
really, and it's
really
evenings
well.
too.
It goes through. I believe Pastor Pompey. Tell me if I'm wrong. I believe it goes throughout the day and to certain times within the evening because,
Really?
yeah. So the different age groups have different times. They have different curfews. So I
Oh, yes,
think
yes, yes.
yeah. So I think one age group you have to be in by 9:30, and then the other age group you have to be in by 10 o'clock. Um,
Wow.
yeah.
We
So
getting
and
back to the curfew.
th- th-
We
we
get back.
going.
We had the curfew. Our curfew was when the street lights went out. The tail was in the house.
It was the street lights.
When the street lights went out, don't
When
let
they
me
came
have to
on.
come on and
No, when they
switch
came
the
on.
phone.
When the street lights came
Oh, right.
on,
When they
you was
came
in.
on, right. Yup.
That was it.
That was it. Lord have mercy. So you made mention of gentle parenting. So you know I'm gonna always look up stuff, right? Because
Right.
gentle, I don't. All right, let me just say what it is. So gentle parenting is a parenting approach that prioritizes a strong parent-child relationship built on empathy, respect, and understanding. It focuses on, here we go, it focuses on fostering positive discipline, teaching social skills, and helping children develop self regulation, my God, and problem solving skills. Gentle parenting emphasizes connection, communication, and cooperation rather than punishment and control. Now
Help
let
me.
me.
Help, help, help me. Because I'm
Your
old
face.
school. I'm sorry. Help
Your
us sister
face
out,
told
please.
it all. So honestly, so okay. So I didn't grow up on gentle parenting.
Okay.
That wasn't what, Um if you did something that you shouldn't have done, you got your tail tore up. Period.
Period. We said it at the
There
same
was
time.
no,
Period.
you know what I mean? There was no like we gonna have this conversation. There was no timeout, you know. And honestly, I think that's one of the reasons because we can I say how the church say we have not gone to the old time way,
The,
right?
the old time
We
way.
haven't the
Go pick
old
your
time
switch.
way.
Go pick a switch. Oh,
Go get your
I'm
switch.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh,
We're
my
not.
grandmother would say it.
Mine
Go
too.
out there and get me a switch off that there tree.
Mm-hmm.
We and I so let me say why I think we have we have navigated or we have
Shifted.
processed into this, we shifted into this place because some parents
Mm-hmm. Went too far.
took it to the extreme
Mm-hmm.
because they didn't, again, this goes back to this whole communication, right?
Yeah.
Because they did not learn how to deal with their emotions,
Mm-hmm.
their issues. They got so frustrated about whatever was transpiring. There was no inward looking, right? This not
Right.
everybody. This is just the parents who made us have to shift here, right?
Right.
This is where you get the abuse. This is where you get people not really knowing how to stop yourself. When
Right.
you, first of all, I don't think any child, this is just me, no child should ever be slapped in the face.
Yeah. No. No.
Ever.
Ever. No.
It is a disrespect. And honestly, it's really a an almost letting you know that you are not in control and I am. We can show that as adults or parents in a different manner.
Mm-hmm.
But the slapping in the face
Mm-hmm.
is beyond me.
Now,
And the
now
cussing
that's
at the kid.
slapping in the face is one thing. Now, do you remember? Are we really going to go here in this conversation? Yes,
Yeah,
we are.
we here.
Do you remember the pluck? So remember you said something and they plucked your lips.
I do.
Now, what about that? I know, and I need y'all to chime in this conversation because this this not only translates into our households and into our communities, but it also translates into our ministries and into our churches. And it's something that we are honestly that you and I see some pastors on here, I see some parents on here, I see some parents and some pastors on here. I have we have some workers on here that work within the juvenile justice system and that work with troubled youth. So let's really I want we have a great mixture of those that are in this conversation. And I appreciate each and every one of you for logging in and being a part. But we want to hear from you too. We don't want to just have this
Yeah.
conversation. We want all of us to be in this conversation because this is going to help us all in how we navigate the next couple months because our children
Yeah.
are out of school and we need to figure this out, y'all. We need to
Yeah.
know. So go ahead, finish what you were saying. I'm sorry.
No, you were good. I was, Pompey said it was never beat. I was chastised. Lord help us. But I agree. It did back then. It made us who we are today.
Mm-hmm.
It made us who we are today. And I think even the compassion.
Yeah.
Even the compassion. If I have to say, my children didn't get a whole lot of beatings. And honestly, when I got a beating, it was because I did something I really shouldn't have did.
Right.
Cause my daddy, all he had to do was open his mouth, and it was like, cause I knew my dad ain't play.
Right. Right.
He just had to open his mouth, and I think growing up and understanding that same thing with I didn't really have to beat my children like
Right.
that. Now every once in a while, then when you got a little flip of the lip and you felt like you was going, then it was like, oh, so you grown, so let's go toe to toe.
That part. Right. But
You
now it's
grown,
you. So come on. So let's go.
come on.
Since you think you grown, come on, let's go. But so Patterson said, he said, I definitely remember those various tools that were used to enlighten, encourage, and remind a child that they are a child, right? That they're a child. Now, when you step out of
Right.
place, come on, let's go. Let's go.
Yes,
But there was a village that helped support. That is so true.
absolutely.
That
Yes,
positive in a negative where it was just not left to one's own devices without some correction. That is so true. That's another thing
yeah.
that we've lost. We've lost our communities. We've lost our
We've lost our
neighborhoods.
community.
We've lost our communities. And so um, he said, the question I have is, how do we teach the young parents? Lord Patterson, now see, here you go.
Yeah,
How do
here
we
you
teach
go.
the young parents to be parents without a support that they need to encourage them on how to be a parent?
You know what I called it, the parents today?
Which, Lord,
Lord
I'm
forgive
nervous.
me.
I'm nervous.
I call them the newfangled parents. I do, because they just, whatever. It is. I mean, I've seen children in the store flipping out
Mm-hmm.
because you can't. I'm like, what are we doing? And they let them do it.
And they let them do
Talk about stop it,
it.
cut it out. I well, let me hold
We
on.
would get the
Let
eye.
me go,
Listen, we would get,
baby.
they would cut that eye, and you had 2 seconds to straighten up,
A second
or,
and a half.
or, or we was going outside,
You
or we was
right.
going in the
But you know
bathroom.
what, Cha?
Hmm?
It's I honestly, I think culturally
Mm-hmm.
things are different. Cause you might tell little Johnny, stop it, little Johnny. No, you stop it. And I've heard some cuss at their mother. Baby, you cuss. Listen, you cuss at Mary Jane. You all had no teeth in your mouth.
Or Gail or Bernard Charles. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. It wasn't happening. It what? But we do have to Patterson's point. He done chimed in. Lord, I'm nervous. To Patterson's point, we do have to teach these young parents how to parent. We do, but we have so it's hard because I'm even watching those that are living with their parents and they're
Right,
disrespecting their parents and being parents to their children, and it's like the parents don't know how to parent the parent, and then that parent has children and now the grandchildren are being disrespectful to the grandparent, and
oh
it's
my.
it is a generational cycle that just continues, that it's like, when does it stop? And I know
Right.
in my family, like, they look at me, and I may be wrong, but they're like, Chira, you gotta come and you gotta help them, and but that's not my issue, because when I tried to help when they were little and correct them, even in my youngness, right? And being an aunt, or being a cousin, or being whoever, Like when I tried to say and do, it was stop being mean, stop being nasty. But now they being disrespectful and they treat you any old kind of way. But now you want me to come and try and fix it. Ain't no fixing. Ain't no fixing. Because now we're so gentle and we're so kind and we gotta talk nice and we gotta.
That is so
But
funny to me. So gentle. Lord have mercy. Let me tell you what Bishop said. Bishop said the cultural dynamics, uh, definitions, and standards have shifted in every area, especially in the Black context. Oh my.
so how do so honest? So what do we do? And that's an issue because we have come to a point to where we feel as though we have to shift how we do what we do within our own homes, in in our own right in our own communities. And
Because you know what?
y'all help me.
I don't know where this started, but and I don't know what year it started, but I remember children starting to call DHS on their parents.
But
Be-
now they can. It's a
yeah,
whole thing.
yeah,
Like this whole thing.
yeah.
Oh, wait. This whole thing. So I think this blows my mind. A 14-year-old now doesn't have to have their parents' permission. Like they make their own
Wow.
decisions. But am I right, Pastor Pompey? Am I right, Patterson?
What?
I think it's 14. Yeah, it's not 18 anymore. Like they make they have to get their parents. They don't have to get their parents' permission. The parents have to get their permission in order for them to like have services, have counseling, like different things. Like it's up to a 14-year-old. Like when they go to the doctors, the parents have to stay out and
Yeah, I'm so glad that my children are grown. I am. God, hallelujah. Thank you. I'm so glad.
and
Because
you meant
let me
that.
tell you
Like
something. You ain't going to tell me, Lord, please help me. You're not going to tell me what I birthed. And at 14, they going to have what decision? See how that works for you. Because I couldn't do it. I'm so glad that I had my children when I did. Because this right here,
I don't know.
I couldn't do it. I could not. I'm telling you,
It's tough.
I could not.
Mm-hmm.
It
It's
really is. And this is the reason why I pray for, and I joke around when I say newfangled parents, right? But this
it's
is the
true.
reason why I pray for them.
Yeah, it's very
Because
true.
it is it this is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if I go back to what I said earlier, I believe part of the issue, and Cha Cha, we talked about this. Part of the issue was what they saw, things that we didn't talk, we didn't have communication.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What they saw, what we didn't say, what we. Dad said I can't type fast enough. All that I want to say.
he said chime in. He said him, Pompey, Patterson, they all like, listen, we need to be in this conversation. Like we need to talk. We can't type fast enough.
We should tap a button and bring them in. But it's something. It is something. And I do. When I say I pray, I do.
Yeah,
I
I do
pray
too.
all the time because this generation of parents,
Yeah.
they don't know how to be parents because
Right.
nobody taught them. Their parents weren't parents. I had a conversation just yesterday. Had a conversation with a young lady
Mm-hmm.
whose mother didn't teach her how to do certain things.
Yeah.
and she was getting ready to do something, and I said, no, 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 baby, you don't do that. She was like, but why? I said, because if you do it that way, this is what happens.
Right.
But if you do it this way, this will be the result. And she was like, oh, I didn't know that. She's 20 something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then here's the other piece, going back to something that you said earlier. We've minded our business so much that most of the time when we see something, we don't say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
We don't say, I listen. So y'all pray for me and don't judge me. When I see it in the store,
Yeah.
when I see it in the store, I'll be like, no, 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 baby, don't do that. You
Right.
gotta listen to your mom.
Right.
And
I do too.
sometimes
Yeah.
the parents, they are so overwhelmed with, I don't know what to do. I've had young ladies break down and cry and say they don't ever listen to what I say.
Right. Right. Or you know
But we
what?
don't have
We don't have that. And so you're talking about in the store. You're talking about in the store. But what about even in our churches when we're sitting in our
baby,
when we're sitting in our
baby.
churches and the kids are just running up and down the aisle and just falling out mm.
Let me tell you something. Let me just say this. Don't judge me. And if anybody feeling froggy and you want to leap on my lily pad, come on. I gives a look. I takes my glasses off. And I've done it
Me too.
in church. And I give a look.
Yep.
And I've had little children look at me when I give them a look. And
Yep.
they'll look at me
Yep.
like, you gonna look away because I'm going to stare you down. And baby, I can stare you down quicker than you. I done been here long enough, longer than you. I gives a look.
That's it.
And then all of a sudden you see them kind of
Back
back
up.
down and then sit down. And then they look forward. Then they turn around to see if you're still looking. And I'm still looking.
Never have to say a word. Never have to
Not
say a
a
word.
word. This
And
happened a couple weeks ago. I was in.
happened to me Saturday. It happened to me Saturday at a service. I was at a service on Saturday. I did the same thing. But this is the thing. Back to Kevin's point of how do we teach our parents? How do we teach these young parents things like that? Things like the look. Things like I remember when we were younger and we were first of all, let's do this. Can we get our children back in church? Let's.
Girl. No, hold on. Before we even get them to church,
Okay, come on.
can we teach them at home?
Well, we got to teach the parents first. So do we? Okay, so let me ask this: do we really need to? And I need y'all to let me know. Pompey, Bishop Davis, Connor, hey Vaughn, hey, Aunt Darlene,
Read what
all of y'all
Vaughn
that's
said.
on, Miss Liz. I need y'all to. I need help me, because I'm gonna say I am old school. I am very very
Yes,
old school traditional. Like that is me. That's me. But do we? Because we and I asked Bishop Davis something similar to this about classes and things like that. But do we really need to have parenting classes? Like, do we really need to teach our young people how to be parents when the teaching of being parents wasn't given to you? Like, you weren't taught. You literally went off of what you got and what you saw was right and what you saw was not, and you went off of that.
But I don't know, because I believe that my mom taught me. I believe she taught me by the example that she was. And because I wanted to be a good parent, I paid attention.
Right.
Chacha, go back and read what Vaughn said and then read what Bishop said. I paid attention because I wanted to be a good parent. And here's the other piece too. I think some young folks are parents prematurely.
Absolutely.
They're parents prematurely, too early, too soon. They don't even have the mental capacity to deal with children, babies. This is why we have so much, um, if you will, I'll say, this is why we see the abuse
True.
because they you're not ready. That's
Mm-mm.
why when you're talking about 14 making a decision, you don't even wash yourself right. Lord God,
Are you getting the cracks and the crevices and the other
are
parts?
you?
Are you
Do
wait?
you put
Use soap.
deodorant on?
Do you
Do you
use
use
soap
soap at 14?
at 14? Because here's the thing, and yes, Vaughn, it's not their fault. These children are products of what we did and did not make them do. I totally agree because
Yes.
I literally know someone who has a 20, is he 25 or 27-year old who doesn't wash properly. And I was like, well, what did you do when they were 10 and 17? He's 25, 27, and if he don't feel like in the shower, he just don't. He just think. I said, and that's on you. I said, if he living in your house at 25,
Lord.
27,
Oh no.
like,
Oh no.
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 That's
I
on
can't.
you. You letting him make his own. No, because if you didn't do it then, now he's not doing it. But you are still their parent. If they living in your house, they are still your responsibility. I don't care. I don't care how old. Now that's me. If you living in my house, I still got rule over you. Period. Now when you get grown enough, I don't care you got chicken child or not. When you get grown enough to pay your own bills and do your own stuff in your own place, you can do what you want. But here, you gonna do what I say.
You ain't got to
Oh,
wash
y'all
your
hear
butt
me? I'm
ever in your
old. I'm
own
old.
place.
I'm old. I'm so sorry. I'm old. I'm old. This is probably why I ain't got no kids now. This is probably why.
No, read what Bishop said. Read what Bishop
He
said.
said part of what most people don't want to say is that part of this is systematic. It is. It's systematic. The message of black parenting as abuse have proliferated on the canvas of the media, etc. Yeah, you got a lot to say, sir. Which translated
Hey,
into this level
could you
of self
could you speak
advocacy
for the
and the
five?
weakening of parental influence. But Bishop, seriously, when do we get the influence back? When do we do what, as Vaughn said, like it's our fault. It's our fault. And so when do we take the responsibility and accountability and stop being so nice and stop being so gentle and really do the corrections that are needed in our young people today, which would probably stop some of these things that they are doing because they think that everything is fine. And it's
Mm,
not because we are not giving them the correction that they need.
John said that I believe that sometimes we try to remove what we didn't agree with in regards to how we was disciplined, in regards to how we were disciplined, and that could also be the reason for the actions of children. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I listen. So let me give you an example. I used to say all the time, yeah,
Be
I ain't
like
gonna
mom.
raise my children like my mom did.
That's why I don't have no kids because I ain't want to raise them like my parents. And I'm gonna be quite honest. And to that point, like I was scared. I was literally
No, I get
scared
that.
that I was going to repeat to the systematic point that Bishop made,
Hmm.
that I was going to repeat some things, and I didn't want to the point of some of our conversations that we've had in the past about doing reflection. I didn't want to repeat those things in my children that happened to me. I didn't want to traumatize
Right.
them. I didn't want to hurt them. I didn't want to abuse them in the way that it was done to me, that I realized and recognized. So instead of, I always said, if my husband wants children, I'll do it. But if he doesn't, I'm good, because I don't want to repeat the things on my children that I could potentially have. I don't want to do that to them. And
Right.
so,
I get that. I
unfortunately,
get
now
that.
I don't have children. Like, I have not. Let me rephrase that, because somebody will have a whole fit in me saying that I don't have no children. I have not birthed like, I have not conceived and birthed any children. But and that's the reason why, because I was so
Right.
fearful of being, I'm gonna say, a bad parent, because that's what I thought I would
Right.
be.
You know what I think too? I think there's others that feel that way because of their upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then there's others who say, I want to be a parent because of how, I wasn't in a rush at all
Right, right,
because, I had to watch my brothers,
right.
right? So I wasn't in a rush. But when God allowed me to be able to have a child,
Mm-hmm.
baby, I took all of what my mama taught me.
Mm-hmm.
I took all of what, even my dad, because it wasn't always peaches and cream with my father. I can't wait till I'm finished my book.
I can't
My
wait either.
father, my identity, my hero.
Yes.
Because it wasn't always good, but I say this all the time. When you come to the realization that your parents went through hell and high water, and some of the reasons why they did what they did was because of what they went through, and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we cannot hold them hostage to what they did, right? I'm not talking every situation,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Some folks did what they did because that's what they wanted to do,
Right.
but others did what they did because they didn't know any better.
True.
They didn't know any better,
Right.
and because of that, they did certain things, or they maneuvered a certain way, and it's like, well, why, you know but they
Mm-hmm.
didn't know any better. If my example, if my grandmother made cornbread in a skillet
Mm-hmm.
and taught me how to make cornbread, and it was in a skillet, then
Right.
that's what I know, right? But
Right.
when I grew up and I realized that there are cornbread pans that I can use, and I ain't got to cut it and it don't stick on the bottom, then I'm gonna change it. Right? Right. But at some point,
Yes.
again, that was me saying, oh, I don't have to do it that way because we got cornbread pans now.
Right.
So I can do it differently. Still good cornbread,
Still good
but
cornbread.
right. I'm just using a different mode of operation, if that makes any sense.
However, you did not get rid of the foundation of what I needed. So really, what I want and what I need is this good cornbread. I need me a
Yes.
good a good piece of cornbread, and I need it to
Yes.
taste
Hey, hey,
good.
hey, y'all.
Hey y'all, whether it's in the skillet or, I mean, in the cast iron. Woo, baby, the cornbread in the cast iron pan. Yes,
Now
Lord.
you got to know that it was good though.
It's some good
It was really
cornbread.
good. Even the crust on the bottom and the little burnt on the side. But
That's
the
the best
cornbread
part.
pan makes it like this too. Yeah.
But and that's what we need to, so back to Patterson's question, and or whoever asked, of how do we teach these young parents how to
Hmm.
be parents, and not, I'm going to say it, y'all going to get me, but how to be parents and not parent friends.
Ooh,
because this gentle
baby.
parenting. Now I'm gonna. This is just me. This is now y'all can listen. Blast me if y'all want to. I'm good with it. I'm so y'all can jump on my lily pad too. I don't care. No, blast
Not too
me.
much on the cha-cha though.
But seriously, like it seems as though we have, instead of being parents, it has turned into this whole parent friend generation and conversation, and we have lost the respect of what it
Mm,
really means. I felt that. Mm. We've lost the respect of what it really means to be a parent. Because do we want to go biblical? Should we go biblical? Or do we just keep this at a regular conversation? Because I mean, we can hit it. We can hit this word with, because the instruction on how to be a parent, it's in the word. So why are
my
we
Lord.
going with what the world's, Jesus? Why are we
Standard.
going with what the world says about how we parent and not going with what the word says about how we parent? I'm sorry, I just changed the whole conversation.
Can I tell you? I'm gonna tell you like my dad said, because they don't read their Bible.
Oh,
It's
that's what he
it's in your Bible,
said.
the one that you don't read. I'm just I'm saying.
Bishop Davis,
He may not say it exactly like that, but it's in your Bible.
because he say it all the time. If you read your Bible, you know the one that
If
you got,
you read it,
your Bible. Yeah, that's what he said. But
right? He did you read what he put up to?
he said, "Go ahead, read it."
He said parenting was intentional, even when it was accidental. Father, get off that. Meaning they put their lives and ambitions on hold for us. Absolutely. Now that level of sacrifice is an inconvenience to the the modernity. I love when he uses that word of parents. It's the maturity factor. You ain't never lied. You ain't never lied. You ain't never
Yep.
lied.
But
Oh,
it's
my friend Tim. Hey, Tim. He said we've become consultants, baby. Woo!
but that's not
My
what we're
Jesus.
supposed to be.
No.
Like
You know what
so
my fear is?
what?
How do we get back? Do can we get back to a place?
That's the question.
How do we get back?
That's the question. That's the question. How do so
Man.
this gentle parenting, how do we navigate this gentle parenting, this gentle generation? Because now this generation has become so gentle that they don't know how to deal with life and life issues, because we've been so gentle and so kind and so soft. They don't know how to deal with life issues. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of the the time is very different. They see different things, they deal with different, like I talk about it with Harvey all the time. He's like the cartoons are different, the television shows are
Yeah.
different, and we went and he always talks about going um
Mine
from
said we
GI
need a
Joe,
Zoom.
huh?
We need a Zoom
We
conference. Mine. He said we need a Zoom conference.
he said he always talks about going from the GI Joe to the Care Bears,
Mm-hmm.
and where we were watching cartoons like GI Joe and Spider Man and Batman, and like those were the cartoons that we watched. Even in watching Popeye and like those. Oh my God, am I dating myself? But
Popeye the Sailor
but
Man.
but
Choo-choo.
toot toot. But even in watching those cartoons, and then it changed over to the Care Bears and the Smurfs and
The Teletubbies.
the
Do you remember
Teletubbies.
that?
I remember the Tele. So and that transition, y'all tell me if y'all agree. That transition from the cartoons was the transition in our culture. No? Am I wrong? Did I miss it? The transition in the cartoons transitioned because it gave them something different to look at and how they view the world. Everything became rainbows and unicorns and not
Mm-hmm.
how to deal with life.
Right. Tim said, "This is this is so good." He said, "Get rid of summer camps and send them down south in the country." Ain't that what?
On the
No, I
field.
can remember.
In the field.
Yes, I
Listen.
remember my parents when
That's
we went down south, go down for the summer.
Darlene, ain't that what we
You
did?
worked the field. You learned responsibility.
That's it. That's it.
Yes,
You
that's why I learned how to cook the cornbread in the skillet.
And there wasn't no staying in the bed till 10, 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
No,
You're behind. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say it? I'm sorry. Here I
you're
go.
behind. It's okay.
We was up at 5 in the
At the
morning.
crack of dawn.
At the when the sun came up, so was you, and you wasn't just getting up out the bed. You was up, dressed, and outside doing the things that you had to do. You was doing the chores at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's what you was doing. You wasn't laying around and telling me when you gonna get what you gonna tell me when you if you don't get your. Sorry. I'm sorry. I told y'all I'm old school. I'm old. So, how do I don't think I'm helping in this conversation. how do we navigate this generation?
Tim said, "Ain't no cell phone tower." Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Let me go back to being serious. Wait a minute, because Bishop said, because I asked, how do we, how do we get this, how do we go back or get
Okay.
back to? He said, one willing person at a time. You can't override the will of people. Ain't that the truth?
That's true because we can't
That's
force.
that's
Again,
real.
everybody has free will. That's true.
Oh Lord, Vaughn said. She said last week my 6-year-old granddaughter was watching a cartoon called Pregnant Princesses. I turned it off. Amen.
I cannot.
What is happening?
Vaughn, are you serious right now? Please
Pregnant
tell me you
Princess.
kidding. Please tell me you are kidding.
I
And
ain't
this is
seen
what
that
we're
one.
showing our young people. This is what we're showing our kids. A 6-year-old. No. But then
Yeah.
when they wind up pregnant at 12, 13, 14, because we letting them watch stuff like this.
The
Again,
cycle. This a lot. This right here is a lot.
This is a lot. Because so here's the thing. Here's the thing. School's out. I started with this. School is out. We talked about these centers that are here in Philadelphia where young people can go up until their curfew time, right? But then, yeah, up until their curfew time. But all the kids aren't going there.
No.
And the ones that go there, honestly, are probably not the ones that need to go there. Because the ones that are going there are the ones that are the good kids that know that they need somewhere safe to go. It's the other ones that we need to reel back in, right? Give that that tough love, that discipline,
Mhm.
right? Um, and help them be
Yeah.
better. And so, yes, John, discipline in most aspects makes children love you more than the one who indulges in the friend parenting. I agree.
Yes. Absolutely.
I agree.
Absolutely,
And
brother.
how do we get our our parents, these parents, because to know that our homes need the discipline. It's not on the schools. It's what you do at home.
For
It's
sure.
what you instill in them from you. Because at the end of the day, you birthed them, you're raising them. And
You're
everything that you
responsible.
put in them is what's going to come out of them.
Yep. Yep. I watch it here. I watch it at home because my daughter, she lives with me,
Mm-hmm.
and my two grandbabies. And when I tell you, I watch, my little Peyton, she's a Spitfire, honey. And sometimes she gets a little out of hand. And Katie don't play that. Katie's like, no, thank you. And let's get it together,
Right. Right. And
And
she
her little
knows.
feelings sometimes, yeah. And then her little feelings sometimes get hurt. And she'll tell her, you'll be okay. But that's not what you do.
Right.
And we've sometimes, and I'm guilty, sometimes as grandparents, you got to let them sit in that discipline and
Yes.
don't be so quick to go
Right.
pick them up and be like, oh, it's okay. No, it's not
Not
okay.
okay. Because what you
Now,
said wasn't right.
right. And
Mm-hmm.
I've caught myself a few times, but we're, listen, wait a minute. Ron said that she also pointed out a pregnancy test in the store. I'm done. I'm done. I, I'm done.
Ron, I need you to
I'm
keep
done.
your granddaughter in the house. Don't let her back out.
I'm,
We don't.
you said give
She
it
can't come
out.
outside. She can't. And turn off the TV. We just gonna give her the Bible and some coloring books. That's all we gonna give her. What?
That's something.
This is
That
crazy.
that's painful to me.
That is. Mm-hmm.
That's painful to me.
That is. That hurts.
It does
6.
hurt.
But
She's
that's
6 years old.
this. But this is going on everywhere.
Yes. I watched, I don't know if I reposted it, but someone it was a father and his little girl. They were sitting outside of the Walmart, and she wanted to walk around the Walmart with her mom, and she wanted something, and apparently she started crying, and he took her right outside and got in the car and said, it's a privilege for you to walk around the Walmart with your mother, and you can't have everything you see. Now we're going to sit out here until you stop crying. Now when you stop crying, we'll see if we go back inside with your mom.
We'll see.
We'll see. And he did. He put it on social media, and she
Mm-hmm.
was crying, and he said, are you finished? And she and he said, well, until you're finished,
We're not
this is
going.
where we're going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because when he said it's a privilege to
That's
walk around Walmart
that's it.
with your mother,
That's it. Mm-hmm.
that you don't have to. I said, oh, and somebody post the father of the year. Because here's another thing. Here's another thing. We talking about moms, or we've made mention of moms. We said parents, but for the most part, it's the mama.
There it is.
Daddies aren't in the lives, and y'all have heard me say this before. I believe it is your father that gives you your identity. They speak to who you are, and it's the mama that nurtures.
Yep.
But some of these children, they don't know who they are
Because the
because of
discipline is
whatever the
missing.
dynamic was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the dynamic was with the parents, y'all not talking, and can you know, y'all not talking, so I'm gonna keep my son or my daughter from the father, or the vice versa. If the father is raising, I'm gonna keep them from you. Like, all of that is
It's
crazy.
crazy.
Trust me, it's
Or let,
crazy.
but oh, or we do what the young lady did last week. The whole lie about the kidnapping of the 3 year old, and because it was a whole custody suit, from what I understand, she killed your own baby.
Stop playing, Cha Cha.
So like it.
I can't.
So like
I can't.
it's what are we doing? What are we missing? What how because you didn't want the father to have it, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong on what I'm saying. Please do. But because you didn't want the father to have interaction with you off the baby.
That, let me tell you something. That
But what does
is
that
some
say?
serious,
Yes.
exactly. That's some serious stuff. That's some serious stuff. And again, the whole maturity piece, right? Again, this is why I call them newfangled,
It's crazy.
because when you're not mature enough to handle challenges, and because challenges and situations are gonna come up
They are.
when you have a child.
Yes, they are.
And if the parents decide to go another direction and y'all not together because y'all young, y'all, if you have issue,
Y'all
and
can
I
make it
say this
issues.
all the time,
Mm-hmm.
it is not about y'all two, it's about that baby.
It's about that baby. That's it.
I'm listen,
Yep.
without
Vaughn,
putting my
thank you.
daughter's business completely out there, we just went through this. And here's, let
Mm-hmm.
me say this. Don't chill with the threats.
Please.
Chill with the threats. You threaten to take the child and ain't nobody gonna see the child. Who is that helping?
Nobody. Because it sure ain't helping that baby.
No. And then
Because
they
now
gotta
you're
see that.
traumatizing that baby in different ways that's unnecessary.
They gotta see that now.
It's unnecessary.
And if you don't have a village that is stepping in to say, absolutely not.
That's it. So I like what Vaughn said.
Absolutely not.
I like what Vaughn said. She said, I gave her a Bible to read to me. But and again, that's part of the issue. Part of the issue is the parenting in the homes. It's the parenting
Mm-hmm.
in the homes, but it's also the having that impact of God in
Right.
their lives. And I'm just going to say it like that. Yes, I am a Christian pastor. You are, and we have our Christian. But I'm going to say it like this: whose report will you believe? I just need you to have a foundation that you believe in, have faith in, and can instill in your household and your children in order to teach so that they have God to go to and not
Mm-hmm.
what is right in front of them to lean on.
Right.
Because what's in front of you is it's going to fail you, but God will never fail you. I need, I'm just like, yes, if it is, listen, if you gotta go to the foundations and Islam and listen, I just need you to, because you're gonna come back to God one way or another. So I'm just gonna say, but if you gotta have something. You gotta have a foundation in order to build upon. And we, as leaders in this world, we have to continually speak out regarding these things and these
Right.
issues, because we gotta let these parents know. And I appreciate um, John, and for and those that are in this, Pastor B, who works in the school, Pastor Pompey, and Patterson, who they have a foundation. They have a Christian base, a Christian foundation,
Yes.
right? And they
Overseer T
work.
just said that too.
Yep, and they work.
He just
They work
said
in the.
having a faith foundation is key.
Yep, it is. Having a faith foundation is key, and having those that work within our schools and within our systems, that
Yeah.
work within these systems. We have to have more of us that are working in and or with these systems, in order for these systems to have the foundation that is needed. Because, again, I'm going to say it, I'm part of the issue: taking the Bible, taking God out of the schools. It caused the whole thing. And now we want to, say it the way that we want to say it, and blaspheme and take stuff out of schools. And it's just mind-boggling to me, the stuff that is happening, and how our generations are just turning. And we need to, yes, we need to have a faith foundation again. Pastor Dayna, we're about at an hour. What do you want to leave with those that are listening, and how we navigate this generation? And I want to say thank you to everyone that contributed in this conversation, because your contribution was pivotal, in
Thank you,
this
darling.
conversation. But what would you say?
So, you know, I said this earlier. I'm going to always point people right back to God, right? The
Absolutely.
Bible says to train up a child in the way that they should go.
Mm-hmm. Should.
And when they're old, they won't depart.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that foundation, being an example, right?
Mm-hmm.
I say this to people all the time. You are Jesus, little j, in the earth realm, right?
Mm-hmm.
Be that example. Be that godly, good, positive example
Mm-hmm.
around your children and others. Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you might be the only Jesus that somebody
I
sees.
ever see. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, and I experience it all the time with the basketball players, the AAU team that we have. Some of their parents, they don't care. They don't care.
Yep.
But you got to be the one that does. Be the example. Show that. Even in the discipline. Cuz sometimes they were in my house and I've had to discipline them.
Yes.
Show that.
Mm-hmm.
But show it in love and
Right.
let them know, "Hey, listen. This ain't cool, but let's talk about it.
Right. Right.
But I love you regardless of whether it's cool or not.
Right. And what you're not gonna
But
do is
we
that
gonna
again.
fix it. But we're not gonna do it again." Absolutely. Oh, baby,
Mm-hmm.
I've said it. Matter of fact, I had her her twin girls was staying with me for a minute because you out gallivanting. Twin girls play basketball because you out gallivanting. They ain't had no food. They ain't had nothing. And my daughter said, "Mom," I said, "Okay, they could come for a season." And some stuff went down, and I brought them. I said, "Y'all come sit down, because we're gonna have a conversation." I said, "Let me tell you something. Let me tell you what happens here at this here house.
Right. Right.
This is what happens here, and because you were under my roof, this is what will happen." So
That's
you
it.
won't do that ever again. And if you do,
This is what will happen.
we're gonna have another conversation. But the
Hmm.
conversation ain't gonna be like this one.
Right.
I had their mother, they had been with us for 2 months. Their mother had the audacity and the nerve to call me and say, "You don't talk to my children." I said, "Baby, you know where I live. Come pick your girls up. You deal with them now. Because I'm done. I don't have to. I did this out of the kindness of my heart. You have the audacity to call me because I'm disciplining in my house. Come get them." And I told her, I said, you got literally 40 minutes to come get them.
Period. But here's
They
the
ain't had nothing
thing,
else to say.
that impact that they had for those 2 months will carry them.
Yes.
Whether we see it or not, it's going to carry them. And
Yeah.
I appreciate the and that's just like the things that we do, even when we have our interactions at our churches, within our communities, in the supermarkets for that, that half a second, or however long,
Right.
in the parking lots, in the parks, wherever we see something, we need to say something, right?
Yeah.
Because my lasting comment is that we're all responsible,
Mm.
all of us, every last one of us. We are our brother's keeper. We are. Listen, y'all can disagree with me all you want. This is where I come from. We're all responsible for one another to a certain degree.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't say something, then we are agreeing with what's happening.
Mm.
A closed mouth means that you agree. Open your mouth and say something. Do something. Because
Mm-hmm.
this generation needs something to be done so that they know what to do.
Yeah.
They don't know because we aren't saying something. We're all, yes, we are. We are responsible and accountable to one another, especially if you have been called and chosen by God to be a leader within this world. We're responsible. So, will we live up to our responsibility?
Mm.
Will we? Are we going to do what we've been called, chosen, and challenged to do for and with one another? It's all of us. All of us. Vaughn, I agree. We got to get some Bibles in these houses. Like, a lot of these
Yeah.
houses don't have Bibles. We got to start sharing the good word, sharing the good news, sharing the we got to stop being scared, and we got to start sharing again, and be
And
bold
making
and
sure we do
confident.
it yeah, making sure we do it in love and using wisdom. Because
Yes,
sometimes church folk can be really nasty,
we can. I mean, they can.
but but the, the Bible says with loving kindness have
it
I
can
drawn thee.
it can come off. So,
No,
and
but
that's the
it
thing.
it comes off nasty more than it comes off sweet. You
But it
catch more bees with honey than you do vinegar. Sometimes we don't know how to talk to people.
but sometimes people don't know how to receive us either. See, we going back. We
Right.
going. We,
But if we're going back to what we said, but if I know how to talk to people, maybe they'll be able to receive.
this is true because everybody doesn't receive the same way, and we do need to
No,
learn how to communicate in
we
in the
need to learn how to
areas that we
communicate.
are in. Right. That is so true. Listen,
And we got to use
I
wisdom.
thank you for I knew this con. How'd y'all like this conversation? Y'all like this one? Was it good? Did we do all right? Listen, we gotta help one another in this gentle generation and navigating this gentle generation because our children are out of school. We have a lot to do. We're seeing a lot that is happening within our communities and our neighborhoods, and we are one another's keepers. I am my brother's keeper. We are. And Pastor Dayna, I thank you for sharing and for everyone that shared in this conversation on tonight. This was amazing. I love it when we go live. I need y'all to stay tuned because every third Monday, we're supposed to. Every third Monday, we go live. We're going to go live at some point, usually at 7, but whatever time, we're going to go live. And so thank you, everyone, for joining and for being with us. Continue to add your comments because we're going to read them and we're going to share and we're going to respond to the comments that you put in because, listen, we want you to know that we are here. I'm talking for her, but she can correct me. We are here for you. We are, because it's our heart to be here for you.
Absolutely.
That's who we are. It's what we do. I'm Pastor Chira.
I'm Pastor Dayna.
And we'll see you in a couple weeks. God bless. See ya.